the time you waste without realizing it. Every single day, you're given 86,400 seconds. That's it. No more, no less. The question is, how do you choose to spend them? Are you using them to move closer to your goals, or do you let them slip away without even noticing? How many times have you reached the end of the day only to realize that the things you planned to accomplish are still untouched? You didn't lose that time, you used it, just not on the things that matter most to you. The key isn't always about finding new productivity hacks or strategies. Sometimes the secret to success lies in identifying what not to do. Today, let's dive into four common time wasting habits that, once avoided, can free up your time for the things that truly matter. 1. Binge watching shows. Streaming platforms have made it all too easy to lose hours or even days to endless episodes. Imagine this. Chris decides to unwind after work by watching just one episode of a new series. Chris is still on the couch debating whether to watch another episode. Sound familiar? You're not alone. Studies show that the average person spends over 20 hours a week binge watching shows. That's nearly 1,000 hours a year, almost 6 weeks of nonstop viewing. Now, imagine how much closer you could be to your dreams if you dedicated even half of that time to personal growth, learning, or pursuing your passion. What makes binge watching so tempting? It's the autoplay feature, the cliffhangers, and the dopamine rush when the plot thickens. Streaming services design their platforms to keep you hooked. But here's a powerful strategy: watch with intention. Decide beforehand how many episodes you'll watch and stick to it. Use alarms if necessary. Ask yourself, what if you spent just one evening a week working on a project instead of binging shows? By the end of the year, you'd have 52 evenings of progress, enough to learn a new skill, launch a business, or create something meaningful. Constantly checking your phone. Let's talk about Maya, a graphic designer. She sits down to work on a client project but keeps getting distracted by her phone buzzing with notifications. Maya tells herself it'll just take a minute to respond to a message or check an email. Before she knows it, 30 minutes have passed and she hasn't made any progress. Sound familiar? Research shows that the average person checks their phone over 100 times a day. That's not just wasted time, it's wasted focus. Each time you glance at your phone, it takes your brain several minutes to regain full concentration on your original task. The irony is that we rarely find anything truly urgent when we check our phones. Most of the time, it's a notification about a sale, a meme, or an update that could have waited. Imagine if Maya turned off her notifications, placed her phone in another room, and worked uninterrupted for just 2 hours. The difference in productivity would be astounding. Try this experiment. Use a screen time tracker to monitor how often you unlock your phone. The results might shock you. Then set app limits or use tools like focus mode to reduce unnecessary distractions. Hack 3. Overthinking decisions. Meet Aria, a student preparing for her final exams. Instead of diving into her study plan, she spends hours debating whether to start with math or science. She even Googles best study schedules and reads countless articles, hoping to find the perfect plan. By the time she decides, she's already too tired to start. Overthinking isn't just a time waster, it's a productivity killer. Many of us fall into the trap of analysis paralysis, where we spend so much time weighing options that we fail to take action. Think about this: the most successful people in the world make decisions quickly. Jeff Bezos, for example, talks about making decisions with 70% of the information, not waiting for 100%. Why? Because waiting for perfection often means missing opportunities. If you struggle with overthinking, try setting a time limit for decisions. For example, if you're deciding what to focus on today, give yourself 5 minutes to choose and then commit. Progress is better than perfection, and action will always beat inaction. Nashas 4. Doom scrolling social media. It's late at night, and Liam grabs his phone for a quick scroll through social media. He wants to wind down before bed, but 45 minutes later, he's still scrolling. The funny memes, the vacation photos, the heated debates in the comments section, it's all designed to keep him hooked. Social media platforms thrive on attention, and they're incredibly effective at capturing yours. On average, people spend 2 to 3 hours daily scrolling through feeds. That's more than a month of every year spent looking at other people's highlight reels. Here's the thing: what we see on social media isn't reality. It's a curated version of people's lives, often edited and filtered to look perfect. Comparing your real life to someone else's highlight reel can leave you feeling inadequate, even though it's all an illusion. One strategy to combat this is to unfollow accounts that make you feel bad about yourself and follow ones that inspire you. Also, set specific times for social media use. For example, limit scrolling to 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes in the evening. Use the extra time to connect with loved ones, read a book, or pursue a passion project. The power of reflection. Here's a challenge for you. Spend a day tracking how you use your time. Like, write down everything you do in 30-minute intervals. At the end of the day, review your list. How much of your time was spent on meaningful activities and how much was lost to distractions? This simple exercise can be a wake-up call. It helps you identify patterns and gives you the clarity to make better choices moving forward. Let's be clear, none of these activities are inherently bad. Watching a show, playing a game, or scrolling social media can all be enjoyable and even beneficial in moderation. But when these habits consume your time without giving you anything meaningful in return, it's time to rethink your priorities. Here's a simple test. If someone asked, "What did you do today?" and you struggle to answer, it's a sign you might need to reevaluate how you're spending your time. Remember, your 86,400 seconds are ticking away. Spend them wisely.